Alright, my name is FPEZ and I am going to review the cheapest FPV drones I could find online that would ship to Seoul, South Korea. The first one's going to be the Shark. This one costs about $110. So it looks like some instructions. Later. Tiny. I guess this is for young kids. Kind of hurts the bridge of my nose. Here's the little drone, tiny little battery. The Shark. The joystick. It's not like a FPV remote controller. They just go back to the center. So this would be interesting to fly. Oh, and then I actually had to put batteries inside of this. It definitely feels cheap, but yeah, it was only $110. Yeah, maybe this is a drone just to really, if you have the extra cash, but I feel like a lot of people might not have the extra cash when they're first starting out with FPV, so maybe this is not the drone to jump into because it's feeling a little bit cheap. I don't know how far. I'm really interested to see what it even performs like, but it feels like a kid's toy that's gonna break in one day. I'm gonna charge it all. Let's test this little guy out. Screen's working. To pair, you just press this up once. Okay. And that started the drone. You press the throttle up once, beeps. Press the throttle down once, it beeps. Okay, we have a connection. All I did was have to press the search button. Press the search button and it paired. Oh, this thing's awesome. Super easy to fly. Okay, kind of got through there. Ooh. Straight. Oh, nice. Whoa, through the camera lens. Overall, well, I'll go back to my desk to talk about the pros and cons of this little guy, but so far, it's pretty awesome. Alright, so here's my pros and cons. Should you buy this? Pros. The price isn't bad. It's really fun to fly. It works surprisingly well. I think it's a great beginner toy. Cons, there's no acro mode, so it is FPV, but you're still getting a lot of assistance. It's not like flying acro FPV drone, which is fine. A lot of FPV drones now, like the cinematic ones too, a lot of people don't fly them in acro mode. I guess it still gives you kind of a, it's not being controlled by GPS, so you're constantly trying to have to like maneuver it. So probably still kind of a good beginner drone. Price, also kind of a con because it is actually kind of expensive, I feel like, for all it can do. I don't know if it's completely worth it for the price compared to the other ones. You can't record in the goggles, so you can't really, so that's another con. The reception isn't that great. I lost feed a couple times. I never lost connection with the remote though, so that's interesting. But again, I didn't try this outside. To be honest, I really don't think it would fly well outside unless there's like totally no wind at all. Overall, would I recommend this if you're wanting to get into FPV and want to buy your first drone? I don't think this is the one to buy. If you just want to buy a toy for your friend or a kid, maybe this is probably a good one to buy for that, just for them to have fun, and maybe they're slightly interested in drones, so maybe you can buy them this and they can try it with the goggles and a remote control and a little drone. But yeah, if you're specifically looking to get into FPV, I don't think this is a cheap FPV drone to buy to like start getting into, like really getting into FPV. I haven't reviewed the other drones yet, but I do know the beta FPV one, you can use the remote controller for the simulator on a computer. That was a huge plus. That's why I bought that one as my first one. But yeah, this is really just a toy. But if someone doesn't know anything about drones and is slightly interested, maybe this is the right one to get for them just as a toy. You know, it's a really first thing. And if they get into it, you know, great. From this, they get a little taste, but otherwise, yeah, this is more just a toy, I think. Yeah. Okay, I hope that was useful and helpful.